Hey DeFi Dorks, and welcome to this week's episode of the Jade Protocol Sunday Saga, a week ending the 23rd of Jan 2022. My name is Chris Pantelli. This is not financial or investment advice. Please do your own research, and remember, this is my personal crypto journey. I'm sharing with you what I learn and how I apply traditional and fiat financial markets and understandings to the world of crypto. So this week's saga, the markets of a whole are down. So it's been a bloodbath in the crypto markets and the traditional markets. But interesting to see what has happened to Jade price over the past few days in relation to the current market sentiment. But we'll get into all of that right now. Please hit the like and subscribe button on my YouTube channel. It really helps me out with the algorithm, pushes my videos up the list so more people can see my lovely face, even though my face isn't in the videos today. And please drop me a comment as well. It would be great to hear what you think if you're getting value from these videos. And subscribe over on my Twitter as well. That would be awesome at DeFi_Dorks. And drop me a note on here as well and make sure to follow me. And please do some retweets as well. That also really helps. So let's have a look at what's going on. I thought I would just do a quick overview of what's been happening with DeFi Dorks, and then we'll dive into Jade Protocol. So with DeFi Dorks, I haven't really added to any of my positions. I'm in just a handful of investments. But the one I am most excited about is BuyBot Nodes. And I got into this project really quite early. It didn't really cost me much to start off. At that time, it was a 25,000 BPND minimum to start a node, I think, which was a few $100s. Prices subsequently skyrocketed. So I think this may be one of my first investments where I got in at the right time. Obviously, if the longevity of the project proves itself out, I got in around here, and obviously price has skyrocketed up here. So the minimum price to get in now has actually fallen as a number of the existing node holders were able to merge their nodes. The current node count has dropped, and that means that the minimum amount of VPND tokens to start a node has also dropped. And what's really interesting about this project is there's no maximum on the nodes, and you can auto compound your nodes back into, you can auto compound your VPND, which is the native token. You can auto compound your VPND tokens back into your existing node. There's a YouTube video which I made, which you can check out. So it's my warpath to $60,000 per month. Yes, you read that right, $60,000 per month. Is it a pipe dream? Who knows in crypto? We need to wait and see. But the guys behind this project are really, really interested, and they've had some really cool AMAs. You can learn a lot about a project by listening to what they have to say and how they interact with the community, after obviously doing all of your own independent research of the white papers and whatnot. But to get a real feel, a gut feel, I find it really helps to dive into their Discord communities and listen to what they're saying on their YouTube videos, on their tweets, and on their AMAs. So the plan for this project is a 365-day, every 24 hours, compound my rewards back into the node. I don't know if I'm going to last. I tweeted this 5 days ago. I'm now 10 days in. After 1 or 3 days, I think you get a boost on your rewards up to 1.1, 1.2% from 1%. And then after 7 days, I think it goes to 1.2%. And after 15 days, it's 1.4%. So based on my calculations, which I think are correct, in fact, I know are correct, then if I compound every 24 hours for 365 days, my 25,000 VPND node will have grown to just over 4 million VPND tokens. And based on current price, will be paying me, if I choose to withdraw my rewards as opposed to compound after that 365-day period, a very, very, very healthy $60,000 per month based on current prices. I do see prices rising with this project, but obviously do your own research. Anything can happen. So watch this video. Give me some thumbs up and comments on there as well. Let me know what you guys think. But like I said, everything else is remaining pretty steady. It's been a bloodbath. Everything is pretty much down apart from BuyBot Nodes, all of my DAO projects, and then obviously Jade, which we'll get onto now. So the Jade Protocol. Let's take a look at this week's dashboard. So Jade price is up slightly. It's 22.64. Last week we were at 20.93. And then the fair market value has also risen slightly as well. So I think we were at 161, if memory serves. Yeah, 161.51, and that's gone up to 171.50. And obviously, this fair market value is based on these metrics down here. And back in Treasury is at 25,483,000, and that's up from last week where we were at 20. Sorry, back in Treasury was at 26 million. Sorry, it's gone down slightly to 25 million, and the investment treasury is currently at 47 million, and the investment treasury was at 47 million. So we may have had some investments, which we will find out on the 1st of Feb, which will be the first investors report. Like I said, I'm not diving into all of the contracts specifically. I'm taking what I learned from this project, mainly from the Discord groups, the Twitter. I have looked into some of the contracts, the burn contracts and whatnot, but I've got a lot of other things going on as well. And I have my investment in Jade, and I'm not planning to withdraw until we see some substantial movement on price. And we are currently, nothing really very exciting is happening. We haven't crashed like the rest of the markets have. Obviously, it's been a bloodbath over the past week or so, and there's a number of reasons for that, which we'll get into. But Jade's BuyBot, Algorithmic BuyBot, appears to be holding this floor price. So as the floor price, as the actual price hits the floor price and tries to dip below, Jade's Algorithmic BuyBot will automatically buy Jade and burn Jade, thus defending the floor price. And as with all of these other DAOs that I'm in Meta Reserve, Hector DAO, Galaxy Goggle, those have all taken a massive hammering. I won't dive into the charts now, but that is, and obviously we had the Time Wonderland fall as well. So the reasons for this, Time Wonderland, that's one of the big projects. We've had a massive downward movement in price. So Bitcoin, we've had a huge fall in Bitcoin, and that falls to 34K, or was at 34K. Where are we currently with Bitcoin? 35K. So we've come up slightly in the last 24 hours, but over the past 7 days, 17.92% decrease, which is huge. And the Bitcoin RSI was oversold, which is the first time since the March 2020 crash. So equity benchmarks are being substantially recalibrated from lofty heights as the economy heads into a new monetary policy regime in the battle against the pandemic and surging inflation. On top of that, doubts about parts of the economy and events outside of the country. So we've got the China-US relations, the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Remember, there are many Bitcoin miners in the Ukraine, and any invasion on the part of Russia will have a substantial knock-on effect on the mining ability of the Bitcoin ecosystem. We also have the Middle Eastern unrest, also contributing to bearish and pessimistic tone for investors. The confluence of uncertainties has markets in or near a correction or headed for a bear market, which are terms that are used with more precision when talking about market declines. The recent drop in stocks, of course, is nothing new, but it may feel a bit unsettling, especially for new investors. Obviously, I've been invested in traditional stocks for a number of years now, and my quote-unquote safe government-backed UK stock investments have taken an absolute hammering as well. Nobody is safe, nowhere safe, unless you want to take your 0.whatever% interest from a high street bank. And we are seeing a correlation between traditional markets and crypto markets, which is slightly annoying, especially when especially if you're new to DeFi and crypto in general, to see it as a way to hedge your bets away from the traditional markets. We are seeing they are in fact running very much parallel with each other, and with a massive drop in one, we are seeing a massive drop in the other. But it's not. There's no reason to think that wouldn't happen, I suppose, other than the sentiment that we have like decentralized projects. But many people that are invested, especially with large investment accounts in traditional markets, are going to have investments in crypto as well. And when one is falling, so too will the other, as money is moved to safer havens. How it's not all bad news though. It's there will be a huge influx of cash into the crypto markets over the coming year. Andreessen Horowitz triples down on blockchain startups with a massive 2.2 billion in a crypto fund. Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard for a staggering 70 billion US dollars, one of the largest companies in the world, lest we forget Facebook rebounds to Meta. So it is looking pretty bullish, quite holistically, for the crypto markets if you can ride out this particular downturn. And obviously, like I mentioned before, it's interesting to see that most DAOs are down. In fact, my only investment, which is up, is the Vapor Nodes project. I'm also in Strong, which is taking a hammer in as well. That's another node project. All the DAOs are down, and then Jade, while nothing really substantially significant is happening to price, as you can see, since sort of January the 15th, after this article release and this huge spike down, we have been in an extremely tight trading range. Okay, and that's proof, if proof be needed, that this algorithmic BuyBot is doing its job and defending the floor price. Having said that, it's not particularly interesting, but I've got my 30 or so Jade invested, and we'll wait to see what happens. My plan is to hold, keep studying, keep watching, and wait and see. If I just come to John Ray, see what's been going on with him, nothing much in relation to the actual Jade project. Everything he's focusing on over the past week or so has been the Project X, and I'm not really going to cover that, as it's much more people that were involved in the smart or smarter projects, and it's a way to make them whole. However, the project itself will directly benefit us Jade holders if they're able to make some good investments and some good returns, as it's an offshoot, a project given the green light by the Jade Treasury Fund, and John Ray is at the helm of that and running that. So he's really active in this, which is interesting to see. So it'll be good to keep tabs on what he's able to achieve with this project and how that directly benefits us Jade holders. And nothing from the Jade account really, apart from obviously we had the Jade Warpath Part 2 on the 15th of Jan, and then that's when we had this massive price uptick briefly, followed by a price fall. So the next big thing we can expect from the account, which is it's sort of in the diary, will be that investors report coming on the 1st of Feb, unless they tweet anything out in the meantime. Just need to keep an eye and see what's going on with that. Finally, just to wrap this up, Daniela, who's the guy behind Time Wonderland, he posted a tweet which was interesting, that it was time to move away from the own model. As everyone saw, it's good exclusively to fundraise, but not really sustainable. And I made the tweet that sort of a quote retweet, quoting this from Nick Lawrence, which was really interesting. He said, Jade called this 3 weeks ago in relation to Daniela's statement. What if there was a precise dollar amount it couldn't fall below, and what if that number was publicly known? This is directly lifted from that first Jade Medium article, where he's talking about how the back price of Ohm didn't really have legs, and it could quite easily fall below that, even though there is a mechanism in place for Time Wonderland to defend that price. It's not algorithmic, it's not automatic, and it did have a lot of investors running scared. However, as well with that project, a lot of people are leveraged into positions in that particular project. So with me, I'm trading with no leverage. Everything I've invested is or fair game to lose. I'll be sad, but it's money, afforded money to lose. And as I said before, this isn't financial or investment advice. Make sure you do your own research. But it is interesting to see that Einstein, obviously the Jade Protocol project founder, I said they called him a crazy rug artist. Looks like ye old Jade is ahead of the curve on this. So yeah, Einstein called it. But what that means for the longevity of the project and where we go over the next coming weeks and months, it's really anyone's guess, especially in these market conditions. As you can see, it's a bloodbath. Everything is down. Crypto futures, Forex, all the markets. We should see a bounce. Everything is cyclical. Things go up, things go down. It just depends what you want to do with your particular investments across what projects. For me personally, I would like to see a significant increase in Jade. And when I say significant, I'm not talking about the glory days of highs in the $500 or $600. Even if we just get to the price of $100 for me, that puts me at a £3,000 return if I were to sell at that point. But I would see how the project's going. I'd like to take a few thousand out of this if possible, maybe leave half in, take half out, depending on where price is. And I'm definitely going to be looking to put that into a node project, either Strong or Vapor, across the two, or possibly one more new node project. There are a couple I've got my eye on. I think that's about it for this week. So if anything happens in the meantime, I'll make sure to take note and cover it in next week's video. I'll keep these as short as possible when not much is happening. And when something more significantly does happen, we'll dive a little deeper. Okay, guys, so this has been Sunday Saga for the Jade Protocol projects. Please remember, subscribe to the channel as well. Give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, and I can't wait to see you next week. Thanks, guys.